Somewhere right now, a trader is staring at a screen, watching a position bleed red, and their heart is pounding. Their hands are sweaty, their mind is racing through 1,000 justifications for why they should hold on just a little longer. And a few miles away, maybe even in the same city, another trader is staring at the exact same red position, same market, same chart, same numbers, but they're calm. They already know what they're going to do because they decided it before the trade even started. That's the difference. That's the entire difference between the traders who blow up their accounts and the traders who quietly compound wealth for decades. It's not the indicator. It's not the strategy. It's not some secret chart pattern locked away in a Wall Street vault. It's the mind. Today, we're going to break down exactly how the top 1% of traders think, the mental architecture that separates consistent profitability from years of frustration. Stick with me because by the end of this, you're going to see trading in a completely different light. The uncomfortable truth nobody tells you when they start trading. Here's something most people never hear when they start trading. The market doesn't care about your rent, your dreams, your student loans, or how badly you need this trade to work. The market is indifferent. It's not out to get you, and it's not rooting for you either. Most retail traders enter the market believing that the goal is to be right, to predict the next move, to call the top, call the bottom, and feel that rush of being smarter than the crowd. The top 1% abandoned that belief a long time ago. They stopped trying to be right. They started trying to be profitable. And those two things sound similar, but they are worlds apart. Being right is an ego game. Being profitable is a probability game. And once you understand that distinction, everything about how you approach the market starts to shift. Lesson 1. Losses are not failures, they're tuition. If there's one belief that separates elite traders from everyone else, it's this. They've made peace with losing. Not in a defeatist way, not in a losing doesn't matter way, but in a deeply practical way. They understand that losing trades are simply the cost of doing business in an uncertain environment. Think about a casino for a moment. The house doesn't win every single hand. Some nights the house loses big. But over 10,000 hands, the edge plays out, and the house comes out ahead. The house doesn't panic after a bad night. It doesn't change its entire strategy because of one string of bad luck. It trusts the math over the long run. The top 1% of traders operate the exact same way. They know that even a strategy with a strong edge will produce losing trades, sometimes long streaks of them. What matters isn't avoiding losses. What matters is making sure each loss is small, controlled, and expected, so it never threatens the ability to keep playing the game. Amateur traders treat each loss like a personal failure. They take it home with them. They replay it in their heads at 2 a.m. They start doubting their entire approach after a single bad trade. Professionals treat losses like a factory owner treats defective units on an assembly line. Some percentage of output will be defective. That's built into the model. You don't shut down the factory over it. You just make sure the defect rate stays within acceptable limits and you keep producing. This single mental shift from losses are failures to losses are the cost of running a business is one of the most powerful transformations a trader can make. Lesson 2. Emotional neutrality is a skill, not a personality trait. A lot of people assume that elite traders are just naturally calm, ice in their veins types, that they were born without fear or greed. That's a myth. Every trader feels fear when a position moves against them. Every trader feels the pull of greed when a winning trade keeps climbing and the temptation to let it ride just a bit more creeps in. The difference isn't the absence of emotion, it's the relationship with emotion. The top 1% have trained themselves to notice the emotional spike without letting it drive the decision. It's the same skill a surgeon uses in a high-pressure operation or a pilot uses when an engine warning light comes on mid-flight. The feeling is there, the training takes over anyway. Here's a mental model that works. Imagine your emotional reaction as weather and your trading plan as the building. A storm can rage outside, fear, excitement, anxiety, euphoria, but a well-built structure doesn't get knocked over by wind. It was built to withstand exactly that kind of pressure. Elite traders build that structure through preparation. They know their entry, their stop loss, their target, and their position size before they ever click the buy or sell button. The decision was already made in a calm state of mind. All that's left in the heat of the moment is execution, not decision-making. This is why so many trading educators emphasize writing a trading plan before the market opens. It's not busy work, it's emotional insurance. It's building the storm shelter before the storm arrives. Lesson 3. Process over outcome. Here's a scenario. Two traders take the exact same setup. Same entry, same stop loss, same target, same position size. One trade wins, one trade loses. Does that mean the winning trader made a better decision? Not necessarily. In fact, in trading, a losing trade can be a perfectly executed decision, and a winning trade can be a reckless one that got lucky. The outcome of any single trade is heavily influenced by randomness and short-term market noise, but the quality of the decision, the process, is something the trader has full control over. The top 1% judge themselves by their process, not by their profit and loss on any given day. They ask questions like, did I follow my plan? Did I size the position appropriately? Did I wait for my actual setup, or did I force a trade out of boredom or impatience? Did I respect my stop loss? If the answer to those questions is yes, that trade was a success in the truest sense, regardless of whether the market moved in their favor. This is a radically different scorecard than the one most beginners use. Beginners look at green and red. Professionals look at discipline and adherence to process. Over hundreds and thousands of trades, good process compounds into good outcomes. But chasing outcomes directly, trade by trade, leads to erratic behavior, revenge trading, and eventually blown accounts. Lesson 4. Position sizing is where psychology lives or dies. Here's something rarely discussed in flashy trading content. Most blown accounts aren't caused by bad analysis. They're caused by bad position sizing. A trader can have a genuinely solid strategy, one with a real statistical edge, and still destroy their account because they bet too large on any single trade. When the position size is too big, every price fluctuation becomes an emotional event. A small pullback that should mean nothing suddenly feels like a crisis because the dollar amount at risk is too large relative to the account. The top 1% understand a concept sometimes called risk of ruin. They know that if they risk too much per trade, even a strategy with a positive edge will eventually hit a losing streak severe enough to wipe out the account purely due to the mathematics of compounding losses. So they size down, way down compared to what beginners usually do. Many professional traders risk somewhere between 0.5% and 2% of their account on any single trade. That might sound small and unglamorous. It is. But it's precisely that boring discipline that allows them to survive losing streaks that would destroy an over-leveraged account. Small risk per trade means small emotional reactions. Small emotional reactions mean clear thinking. Clear thinking means better decisions. It's a chain reaction, and it starts with position sizing. Lesson 5. Patience is a competitive advantage. In a world of instant gratification, patience has quietly become one of the rarest and most profitable skills a trader can develop. The market doesn't offer a great setup every day. Sometimes the best trade is no trade at all. But the human brain isn't wired for that. Sitting on the sidelines while the market moves feels uncomfortable. It triggers a fear of missing out that's almost primal. Amateur traders fill that discomfort by forcing trades, entering positions that don't actually meet their criteria just to feel like they're doing something. The top 1% have trained themselves to sit in that discomfort without acting on it. Think of it like fishing. A skilled angler doesn't cast at every ripple in the water. They wait patiently, scanning for the right conditions, the right signs of activity, and then they cast with precision when the moment is right. An impatient fisherman casts constantly, wearing themselves out and scaring away the fish that were actually worth catching. Trading works the same way. Overtrading doesn't just cost money in fees and slippage, it dilutes focus and quality. The best traders often take fewer trades than beginners would expect, but each one is higher quality, better planned, and better executed. Lesson 6. Detachment from money. Yes, really. This one sounds almost contradictory, given that trading is fundamentally about money. But here's the paradox. The traders who are most anxious about money tend to perform worse, and the traders who've developed a certain psychological distance from it tend to perform better. Why? Because when every dollar feels like survival, decision-making becomes distorted. Fear of loss becomes overwhelming. A trader in that mental state will often exit winning trades too early out of fear of giving profits back, and hold losing trades too long out of desperation to avoid making it real. The top 1% often describe reaching a point where they view the numbers on the screen more like scorekeeping than like their actual life savings on the line in real time. This isn't about being careless with money. It's about creating enough emotional distance that fear doesn't hijack the decision-making process. One practical way traders build this distance is by only ever risking capital they've mentally and financially prepared to lose. Capital that, if it disappeared entirely, would not affect their ability to pay rent, eat, or maintain their basic quality of life. When the money at risk doesn't threaten survival, the brain doesn't go into the same fight or flight response, and clearer decisions become possible. Lesson 7. Self-awareness beats strategy. If you ask 10 different profitable traders what strategy they use, you'll probably get 10 different answers. Some are trend followers, some are mean reversion traders, some trade based on fundamentals, others purely on price action. But if you ask them what allowed them to succeed, the answers converge on something deeper than strategy: self-awareness. The top 1% know their own psychological tendencies intimately. They know if they're prone to revenge trading after a loss. They know if they tend to get overconfident after a winning streak and start taking sloppy trades. They know their own blind spots, and they build systems and rules specifically designed to protect themselves from themselves. This is a profound point. The best traders aren't fighting the market as much as they're managing their own psychology in response to the market. The market is simply the arena where their internal discipline gets tested, trade after trade, day after day. Journaling is one of the most common tools used to build this self-awareness. Writing down not just what trade was taken, but why and how it felt emotionally, creates a feedback loop. Over time, patterns emerge. A trader might notice they consistently lose money on trades taken after 2 p.m., or after a loss, or when they deviate from their plan. That awareness becomes a powerful edge, arguably more powerful than any indicator. Bringing it all together. So what does it actually mean to think like the top 1% of traders? It means redefining a loss as tuition, not failure. It means building emotional discipline before the market opens, not during the chaos of an open position. It means judging yourself by process, not by the outcome of any single trade. It means sizing positions small enough that emotions stay quiet. It means having the patience to wait for quality over quantity. It means creating psychological distance from the money itself. And it means turning the lens inward, becoming a student of your own behavior as much as a student of the market. None of this is flashy. None of this fits neatly into a single graphic or a 30-second video. It's not exciting in the way a secret indicator or guaranteed strategy sounds exciting, but it's real. It's the actual foundation underneath every trader who has managed to stay in this game for years and even decades without burning out or blowing up. The market will always offer excitement to those chasing it, but the top 1% learned, often the hard way, that the real game isn't played on the chart, it's played in the mind. Master that, and the charts become just another tool, not a battlefield, not an emotional roller coaster, but simply information to be used with a clear, disciplined mind. That's how the top 1% think, and now you know exactly what it takes to think that way too.